All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive.
Hmm.
Today, we're going to be talking all about AI,
Yeah, AI.
which is something that you hear about constantly. So we're going to do a deep dive on it. We're going to kind of cover all the angles. We've got some news about some new open AI models, what's happening with AI in disaster response, and we're going to end with ethical frameworks that are being adopted.
Yeah,
Sound good?
sounds great. Let's do it.
Okay. So the new open AI model, it's the big thing people are talking about is that it's supposed to have emotional intelligence, which I don't know about you, but
Yeah.
that kind of freaks me out a little bit.
Yeah, me too.
Like a machine that can understand your emotions.
Yeah.
But I guess, I mean, if you think about it, like we're always trying to get technology to be more human,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So that's kind of the next step, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it really is. And if you think about how we interact with each other, so much of it is not just the words we're saying, but, the tone, the body language, the facial expressions, all of that. Mm-hmm.
And so if AI is going to become more integrated into our lives, being able to understand and respond to those cues, I think that's going to be really important. Like just think about customer service.
Don't even get me started.
Right. Like how many times have you gotten stuck in those like automated phone systems?
In those loops.
Press 1 for this, press 2 for that, and like it never understands.
It never understands. And you end up screaming at the phone. You're like, representative, representative.
Exactly.
So imagine if instead, you had an AI that could actually understand your frustration.
Yeah.
And like help you navigate the situation in a way that was actually, helpful and empathetic.
I would pay extra for that.
Right.
Absolutely pay extra for that.
Exactly. And it's not just customer service. I mean, you can think about things like education.
Yeah.
Imagine an AI tutor that can actually sense when a student is getting frustrated.
Oh, I saw people talking about that on X actually. Like so many people are excited about the potential of AI for education.
Right.
And not just like, teaching kids math facts, but like actually understanding how they learn best and responding to their emotional state. And that's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you think about things like mental health support. There are a lot of people out there who don't have access to therapy or counseling.
Right.
But imagine if there was an AI that could provide some level of support, listen to you, help you work through your feelings, maybe even connect you with resources. I mean, the potential here is really incredible.
Yeah. I saw somebody on X, I think, was talking about how this could be really helpful for like seniors who might be feeling isolated.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, if you could have an AI companion that could check in on you, make sure you're okay, chat with you, that could really make a big difference for people.
Yeah. It's still early days. And we're not talking about, replacing human connection or anything like that. But I think the idea of having these tools, these AI tools that can understand and respond to our emotions in a way that is helpful, I think that's a really exciting possibility.
Yeah. Okay. So moving on. So we've got AI that's becoming more human-like, but what about its ability to like understand and respond to the world around us? Like I read this crazy story about AI being used in disaster response.
Oh, yeah.
And like it gave me chills. It was wild.
I love those stories. I love hearing about
Yeah.
how AI is being used to like really make a difference in the world.
Yeah. Like, so they were talking about how AI is being used to predict the paths of natural disasters.
What?
And like give people time to evacuate, which, I mean, that could save so many lives.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's happening. I mean, they're using AI to analyze all sorts of data like weather patterns, social media posts, all of that to try to predict where and when these disasters might hit.
It's kind of like AI is becoming like a superhero.
Yeah, I know, right? It's amazing. And what I think is really cool is that these systems are constantly learning and getting better.
Right.
So the more data they have, the more accurate their predictions become. And that means we can be better prepared.
Right.
We can get people out of harm's way more quickly. We can maybe even prevent some of the damage from happening in the first place.
Yeah. I mean, they were talking about, I think it was a town that was evacuated just hours before a flash flood hit because the AI predicted it.
That's incredible.
And everybody was safe. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see how AI is being used for good.
Right.
to actually help people.
Yep.
But of course, with any powerful technology, there's always that question of, are we using it responsibly? And,
Right.
and, and that kind of leads us to our last story for today, which is about a major tech company adopting a new ethical AI framework.
Yes. This is really interesting.
Yeah.
And I think it's a really positive step.
Hmm.
So this framework is focused on three main things: transparency, fairness, and accountability.
Hmm.
And basically what that means is making sure that these AI systems are developed in a way that is open and understandable, so
Okay.
we can see how they're making decisions,
Right?
that they don't perpetuate existing biases,
Right.
which is a huge concern with AI,
Yeah.
and that there are clear lines of responsibility for the decisions that AI makes. So if something goes wrong, we know who's accountable.
Okay. So this is like almost like a set of rules for how to develop and use AI ethically.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like a guidebook, right?
Yeah.
To make sure we're doing things the right way.
So how does this tie back into like the open AI model that we were talking about?
Right. So, I mean, if you think about something as powerful as emotionally intelligent AI,
Yeah.
I mean, that could be used for good or for bad,
Right.
right? It could be
Uh,
used to manipulate people. It
mhm.
could be used to, take advantage of them. So,
Yeah.
having this ethical framework in place, it's like a safety net,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's like it helps ensure that technology is used in a way that benefits everyone, not just a select few.
Yeah. It's like we're building guardrails
Exactly.
as we're developing this technology, which I mean, it's kind of mind-blowing, isn't it?
It is. It's like we're living in the future that we used to read about in science fiction books.
I know.
It's incredible.
And it's changing so fast, too.
Yeah,
Like it seems like every day there's something new happening.
right. It's hard to keep up. It's like, but it's also, I mean, it's really exciting. I mean, it feels like we're on the cusp of something really big,
Yeah.
and who knows what the future holds. But I think it's important to be having these conversations now,
Mm-hmm.
about the ethics,
Yeah.
about, making sure we're using this technology responsibly, because it has the potential to really change the world.
Yeah. I mean, even just the past few minutes we've talked about like how AI could revolutionize customer service and education.
Right.
Help us save lives during disasters. I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah.
And a little bit scary too, right?
A little bit, yeah. But I think that's okay.
Mhm.
I mean, it's okay to be a little bit apprehensive about new technology. But I think as long as we're thinking critically about it,
Yeah.
and we're having these conversations about the ethics, and we're putting those guardrails in place, I think we can really harness this power for good.
Yeah. Well said.
So what are your final thoughts on all of this?
I mean, it's a lot to process.
Yeah,
It is.
it is.
But I think the big takeaway for me is that AI is no longer some futuristic concept.
Right.
It's here. It's happening now.
Yeah,
And it's already having a huge impact on our lives.
absolutely.
And I think it's only going to get bigger.
I think so too.
So it's up to us to make sure that we're using this technology responsibly,
Yeah.
that we're thinking about the ethical implications,
Hmm.
and that we're all part of the conversation about how we want AI to shape our future.
Yeah. I mean, that's the big question, isn't it? How is AI going to change the way we live, the way we work, the way we interact with each other?
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a good one to ponder.
Right.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us for this deep dive.
Of course.
It's been an interesting one, to say the least. And yeah, we'll see you next time for another deep dive.
Sounds great.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.